Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 4/6/2025. Now it's Sunday Fun Day. I was a little confused yesterday. Man, I will tell you, yesterday was fun. I came into work. We had a sales meeting because it's our beginning of the month. We had to talk about the last month. As a store, we did a pretty good month. I'm going to keep numbers out of it. I had numbers up here. I think I can give mine. I did 38,000. I did a very small percentage of what the overall total volume of the store was. There's 4 salespeople. Mine was, for the month, was significantly lower. 38. Somebody else had 130. Woo! It's a big difference. My numbers down the line were pretty awful. I did have pretty good fabric protection numbers. But overall, I sold a mattress protector too. And I don't know. I thought I did about as good as I could do with what I had in front of me, but it was a horrible reflection for me. And there's not much I can do about it or say about it. But then guess what? The coworker that has been giving me problems basically since I've been there openly points out that in the numbers that we have, my opportunities, I had the least amount by far. And she alluded that the reason why was because I was excluding customers, that I wasn't counting customers that I was supposed to be counting, and that I was cheating. So I'm not a cheater, first off. And it's on this format. Let me just say that, so I didn't know how to react, really, because I'm already getting, nobody even have to say anything, because you can just look at the numbers. And so then to imply, so my response was, because my closing percentage was 18%. So my response immediately was, so what you're alluding to, let's just forget about the cheating and the lying thing. I'm barely hanging on to my job here. We're in the middle of a sales meeting talking about our performance. And my 18 is a number that's glaring up there, because even if I didn't have a good month, or I was, what you could call it, slow, the volume of the store was great, and everybody else did really good. I was the only one that didn't do well, and one did really great. But not only all of that, but I'm also cheating. So actually, out of that, I actually had more customers that I didn't close, so my volume wouldn't go up, obviously, but my closing percentage would drop down. And the way she was alluding, it was like significantly, like this was a big thing. I was cheating really bad. So I'm covering it up. I guess I'm covering up my poor performance. This is what I was being accused of and alluded to in the middle of our group sales meeting, before I'm getting ready to start a day to try to redeem myself. It's fun. It's really neat job. I was stunned. I gave it to God in that moment. First of all, I don't cheat. Let's go. If we're going to look, let's see the transparency of it. Come with receipts if you're going to accuse somebody of lying and cheating. Boy, I got a frog in my throat. People don't want me to talk about this. Whew. bad one, really. Maybe that means I'm not supposed to talk about it. But it was pretty, it was pretty bad. I thought I handled it pretty, I smiled at her, and I made sure that I looked directly into her eyes. And I think she thought it was creepy, but I kept making a point in the end of it because I just wanted to look at her and say, what are you doing? What is the purpose of this? Because the motivations seem pretty bad on her end. I'm like, am I in a reality television show? So I guess I should get into what some of the other reasons might have been that I have a significantly less amount of ups than everybody else. That doesn't have to be that I'm a cheater in a situation where I already am awful. What in that position, if it was found to be true, that I significantly, like the amount that she made it out to be, that the difference is that I'm doing it that much, I really think I should be fired. Because it's just dishonest. I no longer work on Mondays. I got pushed off of Mondays because I don't know what the reasoning was. But there is definitely something to do with me, is why I got pushed off of Mondays. Mondays is a 2-person day, and it is probably the 3rd highest traffic day of the week. Some weeks, it is the highest traffic day of the week. And there's only 2 people working. It's a good day of work. Get a lot of ups that day. That's the big one. I don't work on Mondays. The second is, I have been in a situation on that floor, in several situations where I've been accused of taking too many ups, of being too much. So I only take ups that somebody tells me that I can take. So that reduces the amount of ups that I'm going to take on a given day. But I'm not going to take ups that nobody's watching the door, the customer comes in, nobody greets, nobody lets me know that I can greet. I'm not going to take an opportunity that I didn't even get to talk to. Why should I have to take that opportunity? You don't. Unless you go bump into them, then it's yours. Or tell me I can. But really, the ones that you catch at the very end, they really shouldn't count because it's not an up. But whatever. It's crazy. So that would be another one. And then I, on the real, don't even want to come into that job because of this person. And really, one of the other coworkers can be very difficult too. Much better recently, but it's a tag team. It seems like when one's on, the other isn't. But, so I don't even want to come in. So my point of that is I'm always the last one into the store because I'm trying to delay. Plus, I'm a straight commission salesperson. So if I don't have the opportunity to sell, it would be smarter for me to get to work first. I'm not going to do that though. I thought about just making that my thing. And this is my new David. I'm going to be the first one at the door every day. But I just don't really feel like doing that. I've done that in my life before. I'm not here to prove anything. But what I will say is that's a big reason why. If you are the 4th person on the door every time, you're going to get less ups because sometimes there's only 7 people that come in the door. And I am paying more attention to my same day beatbacks. I think that might be part of it too, is if the same customer comes in the store multiple times during that day, it's only 1 up. And that's how it is actually supposed to be counted. So I do exclude those. And if you don't, because you're lazy and you're not paying attention, that's your fault. But even with all of that, my closing percentage is dismal already. I don't even believe any of it's true. I don't even think that these numbers are that accurate. They're obviously not. And that was how I started my Monday, or my Saturday, that I really needed a good day. So it really was very small in the moment. I literally did thank her. I was in a condescending manner because I was just like, I couldn't even know. I didn't know what to say. I'm not going to sit here and fight my honor after I've already been, whatever, dude. You want me gone? Is that what's going to happen? Then I'll go. But I guess that's what's got to be. It's got to be. But I'm not leaving. You're going to I mean, I will leave, but if that continues, but it just took it as a day, honestly. It is what it is. I've got my freaking head's on the floor, dude. You can jump all over me. I can't really fight back. Is that it? So there's a bunch of reasons why I have the least amount of ups. What was really crazy is after that happened, during the course of that day on the sales floor, one other associate who gets a great relationship with everybody, it seems, even me, I have a decent relationship with this associate, but they went into the break room to eat. And so their up came in. And I was trying to make sure my stuff was done. I really was going to go run and tell her, but I've been so on the gun here about the stupid floorboard that I wanted to make sure I closed out my my thing. So I saw her coming in, but it's really not my responsibility anyways. She knew that it was mine. I told her I got an up, and she went in there. So the customer comes all the way down the middle of the floor, and I run up to go grab her, and she comes out to greet them. And by the time she gets to them, they were offended, I guess. I don't know exactly why. And I do have some fear that maybe it was they saw me run to go grab her, and then she comes to run and talk to them, and to them it just looked like, what is that? What are we? But she runs up to get them. They were rude to her and said, well, we something, and then they left. And so she comes back, all of this in front of another sales associate, one of which has not been very fair to me, honestly. But she does keep the same basic position on the ups. She thinks that it's you can give up ups and stuff like that. So she suggests that she shouldn't have to take that up. And I'm just standing there after the middle of all this shit that's just happened to me in the middle of that meeting. What am I going to say? I'm going to go against this one? So technically it's her fault. She went to eat. A customer came in. So I'm like, whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. So she doesn't take that up as an up, which was an up. And guess what? The next up was hers, which she worked for a long time, and it was the largest ticket of the day. Did anybody remember that happening after all this bullshit? And then a little bit later, something that happens quite a bit is the push at the door, where there's a greet when nobody's really paying attention, and somehow the customer just leaves, and you don't really get a lot of response on. And I've heard the interactions before, so there's always a little skepticism of pushing people out the door that don't look like they're good opportunities. It's just, and I saw that happen too. And then there's another thing too that can influence your numbers. Phone ups. There's a lot of phone ups. I think that there's a little bit of, there's a glaring discrepancy of numbers on people's volume on phone orders. So there's a lot more phone orders in some people's names, which are closes and ups. And then B-backs. If you're getting B-backs, or if you're taking other people's B-backs in your name, you're getting more closes. Or even maybe just taking the B-backs, period, which could happen too. All I know is I don't get very many B-backs. And I'm not saying that it's anything going on. I'm just saying that's evident. And somebody else gets B-backs out the wazoo. So I was openly accused, basically, of being a liar, a thief, and a cheater in the middle of a sales meeting, where basically we were putting up numbers that showed that I already probably could be grounds for at least looking at firing, because I mean, if you're a performance-based business, if you think I'm cheating, so be it. I'm not here to try to argue against you. Now go out there and sell, David. Get out there. You're gonna be all right. Nobody there to go, you're all right, kid. Not one person came to me after that and said, you okay? Not one. So that tells me a ton. She was held back from the meeting, and I'm sure something was expressed, but nothing publicly, other than it's not the time and the place. But I don't think there's ever a time and a place to accuse somebody without receipts. I'm never going to do that. If you want to bring the receipts, let's do it. Oh my gosh. But I did have a pretty good day. I think if you are going to look at numbers in the situation there, though, I'm probably not going to look at the 38,000 for the tomfoolery. I mean, I might look at the 140, but I'm not even doing that. I'm just saying, if you're going to be looking at closing percentages, maybe, I mean, the 18's an anomaly, but a 39, that's really good. A 39% closing percentage, you're a great salesperson, man. I'm telling you. But let's look at my 19 closes in 38K on the accuracy of the ups. And then I watched as the other, okay, so then I talked about that. That was incredible. Watching the irony of allowing a sales associate to not do their job very well and then get a sale while I'm just getting punched in the mouth. It was really something. At the end of the day, I did sell a bedroom group, and it was this big, huge bedroom group, and the guy wanted to pick it up off the floor, and I asked for a little better deal. First, I went to one of the sales associates, and I was like, do you think he would allow me to do a little better deal on this if he was willing to buy it right now? It was a floor sample. And the associate said, no, you shouldn't do. It's the same response that I get basically anytime I try to do something. It's always like a negative opposite, it seems. But so I'm like, I'm going to text. And I tried to call, he couldn't answer, and then I texted and said to go to 55%, close the sale, which was kind of amazing, but it was on the premise that I was going to get it all ready for him to be able to pick it up. And it's this big, huge bedroom group. It's a king size. But I'm like, I'm ready to go. That's part of how I've always sold anyway. So then my boss agreed to let me do that, but then he comes in and he's like, I got to tear down this stupid bedroom suit now. And I'm sure he didn't want to do that. So I'm like making his life harder. But I did get the sale. But it looks like I'm showboating because, I don't know, whatever. It's just so freaking stupid. But I got a sale out of it. So there you go. Positives in life. And we tore it all down and got it all moved. But like in the middle of that, they called. And I've had this reputation, because here's the reputation that I hold now. Hey, we got long videos. Why not? I'm too aggressive of a salesperson. So that's my problems. That's all the problems that I've got, is that I'm too aggressive of a salesperson and I make customers uncomfortable. That's what the narrative is that's being said by people. I keep doing that. So, I mean, when that gets in the ether, you do start to feel like, and it does seem to be a trend sometimes, you get into little customer service like things where it's just for like a stretch. But if you ride through it, usually you learn from it and you try not to make any more mistakes and you move on, because you do make mistakes. Anyways, where was I going with this? So the narrative is that I'm too aggressive and too pushy with the customers. And I don't really actually think it's true, but I have been in really rocky, weird situations, and sometimes customers are tough. And sometimes days are tough. I just think that it's a narrative that's been created that's not true. And I'm trying to like fight against it though. And I don't know where I was going with that. I don't really care. I'm just trying to be personable now. I'm going to come in with bells on tomorrow and see what you're going to have to fire me with a smile on my face. You're fired. All right. All right. That make me crazy. I just keep looking up, and I'm like, in that scenario, that was one thing I did found. I've gotten really good at this. Like when I was in that moment, it's almost like I could pull, like I've talked about this. It's almost like you pull back to here. Like I'm here and I go, whoop, and I'm just watching and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Am I in La La Land? It's like in Scrubs when he's like thinking off to the side. You're just, but I try to stay in the moment. So I couldn't get mad because it's almost hilarious. You're just like, are you really dancing on me when I'm fucking puddled down like this? Who are you? This is incredible. If there's somebody like you, can imagine what the opposite of you is. That's terrible. Anyway, so that's kind of how I handled all of this. If this cheating thing comes up again, I'm asking for receipts. I want you to show me where I'm cheating. I mean, I'm barely surviving. It's when because I think I did that. That was good. What is it that I did to you, dude? I think the dude thing's funny. For some reason, girls don't like being called dude. Some girls, especially the girls that don't like me, they don't like me calling them dude. So I stopped. I've only done it once to each of them. I won't do it again, but I can on these videos because I'm a wolf. Oh. I think both you dudes need a big hug, but I ain't doing it. No hugs from this guy. I guess that's it. Just when I thought, and I got more to write, that the job couldn't get any tougher. I don't need to do anything, though. I'm just going to go in and be myself and do my best moving forward. Where am I at here? I've found this sort of thing kind of just takes care of itself. So whatever happens, happens. I got to work my 4 hours today, and then I get 2 days off. That's like the best part of all of this. But then I have anxiety of whether I'm going to come back to a job or not. I might even get fired tomorrow. I don't even know. Whenever stuff like that happens in open discourse, you don't know what's going to happen. Just let go and let God. I don't really have anything to hide. The only thing I heard in retribution of, I mean, in counterbalance of what was happening to me was there's a time and a place. And I kept thinking about that today. And I'm like, that's the response? There's a time? No, there's not. Not a time and a place for that kind of behavior ever, in my opinion, unless you got receipts. Like if you're going to come and accuse me of that, that's serious. You don't just kind of gay, that's a bad, I'm sorry. I've ruined the whole video. I still do that sometimes. And it's not, and I caught myself doing it while I was doing it. So I'm sorry. I really should stop doing that with the gay thing. It's just so stupid that and I'm just kind of lost with it. Nobody wants to be accused of being a thief. But whatevs. The proof is in my less than 10%. I mean, it's only a matter of time before I'm going to be done anyways. So I don't know why you got to dance on it. Did I do something that bad to you? I really just don't understand. Here's what I am manifesting. I'm sorry to these people that feel they need to aggress against me, that do not know me. I wish to live well moving forward. I carry no ill will for any perceived transgressions. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. If there is cheating going on, you're looking in the wrong place if you're looking at me. My apologies. You got the wrong dude. But the Tao will show you if you follow. But if you don't, oh well. Wow. It was something. I've never had anything like that. I've had some stuff. I obviously bring it on. It's really incredible. It is what it is. I don't know how to end this. I am going to church today. I am going to do that. In fact, I think I'm going to put together my outfit. And then I do have to go in for my 4 hours. So I'm going to go in and just do my best for the 4 hours that I'm there. And then I'm off. So I have a lot of things that I can do moving forward. I really need to start strategizing better, like a more definite plan, because I am really struggling. And there seems to be a lot going on with the economy and layoffs and just an overall fear, which I'm really not paying attention to because I got my own problems. But I don't like seeing that. We need a little bit more positivity, I think, would be important for everybody to be ready to just roll. One of the problems that happens is whenever things start to become difficult, you can either make it better or you can make it worse. And I'm in camp make it better. And I think that comes from looking at significant places for trying to improve things and being strategic on how you're trying to make your improvements. What is it that you're going to do to try to improve? And sometimes we're doing things that just don't. So use your best judgment and follow the way today. And everything will be all right, one way or the other. I really actually, everything is great in my life other than some things that I really would like, which is to have faith that I am going to be able to spend time with my daughters in May, and I will have financial ability to do so. That's my main goal right now, because I have a daughter that's graduating and I want to make sure that I can come in there and at least not be a bum. So that's my main goal right now. So that's what I'm going to work on for the next 3 days. You know, a lot can happen in a little amount of time. That's what is really cool about life. I hope everybody has a great day out there. Do great, be grateful, and just take it on and do the best you can.